Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Tower, that particular channel that keeps you updated on every issues pertaining to the political system in Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. It's been exposed how former Nigeria's Treasury Chief and former Accountant General Ahmad Idris was arrested over involvement in multi-million-dollar fraud, and why the EFCC swept that particular case beneath the carpet. Now, there have been lots of, exposés that were brought on the issue of Ahmad Idris, but this particular one is quite different because the EFCC arrested him from Intel, and after seeing the whooping amount of money involved, I think over $190 million or over $200 million, let me say, was involved. That money was much. Okay, it was much, and if you exchange that with the present exchange rate, that is going to be outrageous. All right, but we've not had anything on Ahmad Idris. He was taken to court somehow, and we've not had anything pertaining that case. We don't know if he's in jail or if he's flexing his muscles somewhere, But with this expose, we are going to know how it started and how it, gave rise to the cases we heard about him, his involvement in it, and what made the EFCC arrest him over time without showing due, processes, or without really following up the case, even after it was tabled in one of the courts in Nigeria. The former head of Nigeria's Treasury was arrested for allegedly involving himself in fraud and money laundering worth 80 billion naira, ranging to over $200 million, according to the country's anti-graft agency. Alhaji Ahmad Idris, who was Nigeria's Accountant General during the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari, was arrested during his time after failing to honor invitations to respond to the allegations the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) had said. The EFCC alleged that Ahmad Idris raked off the funds through bogus consultancies and other illegal activities using proxies, family members, and close associates. According to the anti-graft agencies and inside sources, the proceeds were invested by Ahmad Idris in real estate in the capital city of Abuja and in his home state of Kano in northern Nigeria. Ahmad Idris, at the time of arrest, refused to comment on his accusations, but he knew deep down that he was so guilty, according to one of the officers of the anti-graft agency. Despite the fact that the formal administration of President Muhammadu Buhari pledged to clamp down on people who were in charge or involved in money laundering and high corruption cases during the past government, but none of these promises were met due to the fact that the people in this administration had a level of corruption that had never been seen in a very long while in Nigeria. Under the same watch of President Muhammadu Buhari, the EFCC secured a string of high-profile convictions, including ministers, state governors, senior public servants, and prominent public figures. As at the time of this arrest, there were two ex-governors who were also jailed for corruption. Both the former administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, despite public outcry, granted pardon to these two ex-governors. As at the time of this arrest too, the agency said it had recovered over 714 million euros, that is over $800 million that had been plundered from the nation's coffers. Alright, you know that yesterday was the day to commemorate or to mark the birthday of the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. He celebrated that birthday allegedly in Uyo, the Nest of Champions, the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo, where there were lots of celebrations and all that. But I brought you exposés about Godswill Akpabio recently. Of course, he has been involved lately in lots of money laundering cases, and this cannot be overemphasized. Now, away from Akpabio now, Ahmad Idris, who was the former Accountant General, had pledged together with his former principal, former President Muhammadu Buhari, to bring sanctity to the money laundering cases that were actually in existence. How? To cleanse Nigeria of, fraudsters, of politicians who launder billions of naira, who make away with millions of naira and dollars from our own coffers, all right. But finally, it was said, and it was, vividly seen that this man who pledged to, serve Nigeria and keep it away from fraudsters, is now part of the people eating up the funds of Nigeria, all right. And my own interest is why the EFCC swept this case under the carpet. That is my own interest. He was taken to court, yeah, we never heard anything. So why have we not heard anything about his, his conviction? That is the point where I am worried about. And I am tempted to think that this present government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is actually supposed to do something about all these things because they are the incoming government, I think this government has aided in the escape of Ahmad Idris, and it has aided in the, secret, let's say, yes, in the secrecy that went on between the former government of President Muhammadu Buhari and this present administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We will continue to go down to their doorsteps to see how we could bring them to limelight. Secondly, recently, Bola Ahmed Tinubu jetted out to the United Arab Emirates, Dubai to be precise, in order to attend a world summit on climate change. Now, Segun Shoumi, one of the senior chieftains of the People's Democratic Party, and one of the people who is also considered for the seat of the national chairman of the PDP, has reacted to the number of people, the over 1,000 delegates who followed Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the climate change summit in Dubai.
You can't be telling me that you're going to Dubai to have a conversation on energy cut down, something that as a Nigerian leader is even directly affecting the things that give you money. If at best they say they want to pay some carbon bills to encourage you, must you go there like frustrated children who have no parents at home? Must you go there with the largest groupings so that when you sit down there, they're looking at you with beggar bowls in your hand, all of you looking like
Brazil and UAE has more delegation than Nigeria.
With due respect, do you know what Brazil and UAE, do you know the size of their economy? They can afford it. They can damn afford it. That the height of what the Brazilians are doing is even the thing that's happening in the Amazon region, where they're trying to say, okay, don't cut the trees and all of that. And so because Brazil can do it, Brazil owns an airline manufacturing company, they own their own airline. Brazil owns their own oil and gas industry, they're not having any problem. Brazil can feed itself. There's hardly anything you want to eat in Brazil that is really important. If a company wants to manufacture as small as butter for them, he has to come and do it in Brazil. And then you will come to Nigeria at a point where you are telling us that we don't even have money. You have now suddenly reduced this country, this great nation of ours, to a nation that just jumps on every available invitation, carries all sorts of funny characters, people who have no business being there, including your children, to the process as serious as that. Why should the Nigerian government, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at this time, why should he be doing as if he's never gone on a plane or gone to a seminar?
Alright, welcome back if you're just joining us. This is still Nation Voice Tower. It's no longer news that Bola Ahmed Tinubu jetted out of Nigeria a few days ago in order to attend the summit at the United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi to be precise, summit on climate change. Now, that particular summit was recorded, but attentions were drawn to the number of delegates, over 1,100 delegates who followed Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is not an example of cutting governance, I've told you over time. So Segun Shoumi had actually that to say on the style of, the way they attend conferences. 1,000 people, are we the owners of the conference? So kudos to Segun Shoumi there. I know he's talking because he's from the PDP. Maybe he will have said something else if he were part of the APC. But Segun Shoumi is always very, very straightforward. I'm yet to see him wanting in the political scene. Finally, still on cutting the cost of governance, a video has gone viral of the governor of Abia State, Governor Alex Oti, as he displays the exemplary way to cut the cost of governance. All right, how did he do this? Please find out for yourself. Stay tuned. Yeah, welcome back. It sounds funny, right? Yes, sounds very funny how the governor was standing in a queue, for a journey that will have just taken him few minutes with his own, privately, maybe hired or his own personal mode of transport to anywhere, which is supposed to be a private airline. Yes, he could go in a chartered airline, or he could go only with his aides or thereabouts. But this man has decided to cut the cost of governance by going in a public airplane. This is very, very, very exemplary and very commendable, because I'm yet to see a governor that is doing this at this present time. All right, kudos not only to Alex Otti but to the Labour Party too, who produced such a diligent and effective, or let me not say cost effective. Let me say how will I put it? Let me say he's very cost sensitive. That is what I would say, because somebody who is extravagant would not make this move and expect to recoup back funds at the end of the day. I think he knows the kind of problem Abia State has, and with that he feels that the money in the state coffers may not actually go far in doing this. Now, one thing is, if you know Governor Alex Otti, though he thinks that Abia State funds may not go far in bringing development, he wants to cut the cost of governance by cutting, the amount of money or the cost of things he does in government, in order to see that he achieves his aim with his team. All right. Now, if you know Alex Otti so well, you would know him to always be like this. Okay. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm so happy that this particular thing did not happen during the campaign period. If not, Nigerians will have been of the opinion that he is doing this to gain cheap popularity or to garner or scamper for votes for himself. But this is happening at a time where he's still on seat. That means it's actually commendable. I urge other governors from any region in Nigeria to please follow suit and make sure they see to it that they don't only bring development to their various states, but try to leave more funds for their successors who are coming in 2027, as for those who will not be re-elected into office, by simply cutting the cost of governance, cutting the cost of things you do, spending time on less expensive trips and all that. By this way, lots of states will recover lots of funds. We saw that vividly in Anambra State when Peter Obi was the then governor. So it's not something that has never been done before, and it's not something that will stop now. Please do the needful for development to come to your state. Thank you so much for staying this far. Please like, share our videos. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you get to see me promptly when I drop a new update. Wouldn't you love that? Please do this to serve you better. See you next time. Bye.